Nobody in Raider Nation saw this coming. Out of nowhere, Jacobe Meyers has asked for a trade, throwing the team into chaos just days before the season starts. One of the most dependable players on the roster is ready to walk, and the timing could not be worse. This isn't just a wide receiver leaving. Meyers was the steady hand, the guy who moved the chains and never dropped a pass. He gave the Raiders over 1,000 yards last year and became the one target defenses couldn't break. Now, that security blanket is gone, and the front office has no easy fix. The bigger story is what this says about the leadership in Las Vegas. Meyers was signed under the old staff, but the new regime clearly doesn't see him as part of their future. Instead of rewarding his production, they've let talks collapse and opened the door to a trade that changes everything. Inside the locker room, this sends shockwaves. If a player like Meyers, who delivers every week, can be pushed aside, it leaves teammates wondering what the new standard really is. Stability feels fragile, and the timing of this decision will keep the team on edge. But just when it looked like the Raiders had taken a huge loss, another twist dropped. A familiar's face suddenly reappeared in silver and black, and that move set off a brand new debate about the direction of this offense. The Raiders didn't waste time after the Meyers shock. Out of nowhere, they turned the headlines again by bringing back Amari Cooper on a one-year deal. The news spread fast, and just like that, a familiar name was back in silver and black. It felt less like a calm move and more like the front office trying to throw a counterpunch. Cooper's return carries both excitement and doubt. On one hand, fans remember his flashes from his first run with the team when he could take over games with speed and skill. On the other hand, his career since then has been marked by ups and downs, with stretches where he disappears completely. That inconsistency is the cloud that hangs over this signing. This move also shows the urgency inside the building. The Raiders know they can't go into the season with their receiver room stripped thin. By signing Cooper, they've tried to fill the hole quickly, but whether he can replace Meyers' steady production is a gamble. Meyers gave trust. Cooper brings questions. What makes it more complicated is timing. Cooper arrives right as the offense is searching for an identity. Brock Bowers is set to be the main weapon, but the team now needs Cooper to step into a role he hasn't truly owned in years, being a reliable first option on the outside. For Raider Nation, this return feels like a roll of the dice. Some will see it as a bold reunion that could reignite Cooper's career, while others will call it a desperate swing. Either way, his comeback changes the conversation and sets the stage for the next concern: how thin this wide receiver room really is. The return of Amari Cooper doesn't erase the bigger problem. When you step back and look at the roster, the wide receiver group is still dangerously thin. One departure and one reunion don't change the fact that the Raiders have more questions than answers at this position. Right now, the team leans heavily on Brock Bowers, a rookie tight end, to carry the load in the passing game. That's a risky formula in a league where defenses adjust quickly. Tight ends can dominate, but building your passing attack around one rookie is asking for trouble when coverage schemes get tighter. Outside threats are the real issue. The Raiders don't have a clear answer for who can stretch the field, win one-on-one battles, and scare a defense deep. Without that kind of weapon, every drive feels like a grind instead of a strike. Don't forget to subscribe to Red Dawn Report for more powerful NFL stories. Depth is also paper thin. Beyond the top names, there isn't much proven talent waiting in the wings. That means one injury or one slump could tilt the entire season, leaving the offense scrambling to piece together production. For a team trying to stay competitive, this is the type of roster hole that can't be ignored. And while Cooper's arrival gives a short-term boost, it also raises the spotlight on the rookies. That's where the focus shifts next, to a young receiver who has already started to catch attention. All the attention now shifts to a rookie who has been flashing during the preseason. Dante Fortin Jr. has already shown he can change a game with his speed, giving the Raiders something they've been missing: a vertical threat who can strike in one play. That spark is why so many eyes are locked on him. His connection with Geno Smith has been one of the brighter notes of camp. When Geno drops back and launches it deep, Thornton looks built to make those plays. That chemistry is promising, but it also raises the pressure on a rookie who hasn't played a real snap under the lights yet. The talent is real. Thornton can stretch a defense, open lanes for others, and force corners to respect his speed. That kind of skill makes coordinators rethink their coverage, and it's something the Raiders desperately need on the outside. But the flip side is just as clear. His route running still needs polish, and against NFL-level corners, that rawness will show. It's one thing to shine in preseason. It's another to deliver week after week when defenses are prepared for you. That's why his rise is exciting, but also risky. If Thornton can step up, the Raiders may have found a breakout weapon. If not, the search for stability at receiver continues. And that takes us to the next name in line, another rookie who hasn't found his footing yet.
While Dante Thornton Jr. is giving fans a glimpse of hope, Jack Betch has been a different story. The rookie has struggled to create separation in preseason games, and that weakness has raised real doubts about whether he's ready to contribute on the outside. In a league where corners press hard and punish mistakes, that's a tough hill to climb. Betch looks more suited for work in the slot, where he can use quick routes instead of relying on pure speed. The problem? The Raiders already have Trey Tucker holding that role, and even Brock Bowers could end up taking snaps there. That leaves little room for him to make an immediate impact. The bigger concern is timing. This team doesn't have the luxury of waiting a full season for him to grow into a spot. With depth already thin, they need players who can step up right now, not later. That urgency makes his slow progress more glaring. Coaches can try to work him into packages, but it feels more like forcing a fit than filling a need. What the Raiders desperately lack are reliable outside receivers who can win battles down the sideline. Betch hasn't shown that ability yet, and the pressure is building fast. This is why the wide receiver puzzle remains unsolved. With Meyers on his way out, Cooper searching for consistency, and rookies still finding their place, the front office had no choice but to look for insurance elsewhere. That decision led them to a surprising move at quarterback. The Raiders didn't just have questions at receiver, they were also hit with a sudden hole at quarterback. With Aiden O'Connell sidelined for several weeks, the team had to act quickly. The answer came in the form of Kenny Pickett, acquired in a trade for a late-round pick. Pickett isn't coming in as a savior. His starting days in Pittsburgh were uneven, but as a backup, he checks important boxes. He's got game experience, he's mobile enough to move the pocket, and he's already faced the pressure of NFL defenses. For a team needing insurance, that makes sense. The plan is simple. Pickett is there to keep the ship steady if Geno Smith misses a short stretch. Nobody expects him to carry the team over a long season, but for 1 or 2 games, he gives them a chance to stay competitive. That's exactly what you want from a second-string quarterback. His fit also comes down to coaching. Chip Kelly has shown he can build a game plan around what his quarterback does best. If Pickett gets called on, the offense would likely lean heavier on the run game while giving him easy throws to build rhythm. It won't be flashy, but it could be enough to survive. Still, the move highlights a bigger theme. The Raiders are patching holes everywhere. From wide receiver to quarterback, they're trying to cover gaps on the fly. And just as one problem seemed managed, another storyline started heating up, this time involving a possible trade with the Patriots. Just when the Jacobe Meyers story looked like it was reaching the end, a new twist hit the rumor mill. Reports suggest the Raiders and Patriots have discussed a trade that would flip Meyers for safety Kyle Duggar. It's the kind of move that feels bold, risky, and game-changing all at once. Duggar isn't just another defensive back. He's known for his size, toughness, and ability to play multiple roles. At 6'2" and over 220 pounds, he brings the body of a linebacker with the skills of a safety. That mix allows him to play close to the line or drop back in coverage, giving coaches flexibility that few defenders can offer. For Pete Carroll and Patrick Graham, that versatility is gold. They've both pushed hard for athletes who can shift roles and keep offenses guessing. Duggar fits that mold perfectly, and his aggressive style matches the identity this staff is trying to build on defense. The Patriots, meanwhile, may see it as a way to freshen up their offense by adding a dependable receiver in Meyers. For the Raiders, it's about making the best out of a tough situation. If they don't plan to pay Meyers, moving him for a defensive weapon at least gives them value in return. It's the kind of rumor that can split a fan base. Some want to keep a proven wideout, others would welcome a physical playmaker in the secondary. Whatever the choice, the clock is ticking, and the next decision could shape both sides of the ball heading into the season. The Raiders now stand at a crossroads, with Jacobe Meyers pushing for a trade, Amari Cooper returning, and a possible deal with the Patriots on the table. The front office faces decisions that could define the entire season. Every move so far has felt like a reaction, and the pressure is only growing. This isn't just about talent on paper. It's about trust, stability, and the direction of the team. Fans are asking if leadership truly has a plan, or if they're simply patching holes as problems appear. The answers to those questions will set the tone for how this roster is viewed in the months ahead. Inside the locker room, the message is clear. Nothing is guaranteed. Veterans see one of the most reliable players pushed aside, rookies are being thrown into the fire, and new faces are being asked to deliver immediately. That mix can build urgency, but it can also create tension if results don't come fast. For the coaching staff, the challenge is even sharper. Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly have to mold this group into a unit that can survive the losses, absorb the risks, and still compete in a tough AFC. They can't afford early stumbles, not with expectations rising. What comes next will show whether this team is ready to push forward or if it's stuck in transition. Raider Nation knows one thing: the choices made now will echo all season long, and there's no margin for error left.